Yippee, Yahoo, and hallelujah! We have another day. My name is Chris Collins. I'm the creator of Reviver the podcast, and here is my story. For some reason in 2010, if I didn't feel right, I just felt off. But in the bathtub, I saw that there were little red spots all over my feet and legs. And I was wondering, what is that? I thought, well, it probably would be a good idea to get a blood test or something. I don't know. There was places that you could go and just walk in if you were going to get hired for a job and get urine tested or blood tested or something like that. I have no idea. You know, I was out of touch. I was over 50, for gosh sakes. What do I know about drugs and employment? Ugh. So I just walked in and said, give me the basic blood test, whatever that is. And they went to work. She called my office about 30 minutes later. She said, Mrs. Collins, you need to get to a hospital. I said, what? I got stuff to do. I have an office. I'm running. I got to see people. This is it. She said, I've seen people with better numbers than this who are in the hospital. I said, oh, fine, I'll go to the hospital. And at this point, you know, you might think that I was getting a little nervous about the whole situation. I'm not likely to get nervous. Not at that time in my life. Yes, I'm already weird, but little stuff bugs me much more than big stuff. Big stuff, it doesn't really bother me. I'm just a strange bird. Well, as strange as somebody who'd been through the mill for the last 13 years. When I arrived, the doc said, well, we need to do a bone marrow biopsy. And I thought, first of all, that doesn't sound good. And secondly, where do you do that? And thirdly, can I turn around and go back out? Because already this is getting way too complex. I have to go home and do research to find out what you're talking about. But they seemed to think it was important, and I was in a daze of what the hell is going on? And while I was waiting, I said, can you just turn down the lights? Just make it darker in here a little? And he said, sure, but I got to start you on a packet of blood because you need some. I'm like, yeah, right. I need some blood? Makes no sense. Okay, I said, whatever you want. And for the first time in my life, I had blood going in me from somebody. Maybe it was a sweet grandma. Maybe it was a drug addict. You never know. It was going into me. And the room was kind of dark, and I thought, oh, great, I wonder what my husband will think about all this, because I don't understand anything. We'd been through major difficulties in our life with the family for the last 13 years. I'll explain that later. But I didn't want him to be afraid and worried, and I was fairly tired, and the blood was cold. You know, they have to freeze it, and then they have to thaw it. And they don't put it in an oven or microwave. It has to thaw normally. It's cold. So I was probably loopy by this time, and they put a couple blankets on me. And I just did what I normally do when big problems arise. I just lay back and waited. For what? I had no idea. But I knew something was happening. And it wasn't something everybody did on a regular basis. The only thing I had to do was wait. Well, until somebody in the ward started coughing. How annoying. I was trying to rest. They sounded so close. I could tell coughing was getting louder and more often. Took me a while. But I finally figured out a cough was coming from me. And it came with something else. No oxygen. I couldn't catch a breath to save my soul. And in a short time, the lights went on, the curtain was pulled back, a doctor was by my side, my husband, at that moment, of course, came around the door. To me, who I couldn't catch my breath, my face was at that point covered with red welts. And then there was the physician who was probably a newbie, or at least new to this problem. He didn't know what was going on, and I was like, great. I don't know what to tell Bill, even if I could talk, because I'm still trying to catch my breath. And this was just all such a bother to me. I figured, whatever the staff had done had made this problem, so I'm sure they knew how to handle it. Well, that was before I heard the doc talking to another doc and arguing about whether or not I really needed some kind of medicine in my drip. Finally, he succumbed and I got the medicine, which was Benadryl. And later found out that some people's bodies don't like to get blood, so they have to give us Benadryl before they start the blood, kind of to fool the body and settle it down a bit. Well, that was good because everything slowed down and the coughing stopped and the welts went down and I could breathe. But then I was really tired. In any case, they brought another packet of blood and continued the process. I think I got 3 to 4 packets that day and night. Each of them takes about 3 hours. And I felt rather good in the morning, so I was allowed to go home. I'll tell you more about my story as we go. This is enough for now. Let's just say there were reasons for my fatigue and blood numbers being so low. But I would not understand that until much later. It would be one heck of a journey, and one that would change my life forever, to this day. I wouldn't have wished this journey on anyone else, but I am very blessed that it happened to me. One breath, one step. Let's talk next time. How do you reach us? How do you leave messages for us? Come on Facebook or come to our website, revivor.net, and subscribe for our newsletters, etc., whenever you want. This website is built just for giving information about healing for you.